What is up, the world of the living? My name is LexP and welcome back to Truly Bedrock. Friends, this here is a smithing table. It just sits there. You can't right click it, not really, you can't left click it, not at all. And it kinda sits there being useless and pointless and asks you, it has the gut to demand you to use 2 iron ingots on it. Check this one out, right? And it thought that it had an upper hand on me. It thought that it was gonna just remain a mystery forever, but no, my friends. I got its number, and turns out this little baby holds the secret to ultimate Minecraft power. Today we're gonna make diamond tools out of coal and other appliances. Okay, for this trick we'll need a fermented spider eye. Drop it into the water bottle, and while it's brewing, let me establish, yes, we will be combining the smithing table with a villager of all things. Believe it or not, the smithing tables are responsible for creating toolsmith villagers. So if you just have a not a nitwit, but like an unemployed guy running about, or if you have one too many farmers or whatever, you can swap their workbenches for a smithing table and it will work just as well. I only prefer to use a fresh villager out of just feeling of solidarity, because I want an unemployed guy and I want a person who I never traded before, because that's the safest bet. Next up, we visit our deceased friends, splash them with a weakness potion, give them an apple to feed, eat one each, and just wait for them to heal up. After Wingus and Dingus here recognize themselves as people they once were, you can see that they might actually accept some other profession. Now, as much as I like myself some cartographers, this is not what I want from them. And honestly, in this situation, the best bet would be to just remove the cartography table that they associated themselves with. However, you can clearly see that I actually have no idea where the cartographer table they associated themselves with is. Which is why this trick basically, it's better done away from any sort of infrastructure, especially away from your personal base. As you wish, let's go on a bit of a trip. Once far away enough from the whatever they attached to, we gotta give them a place to sleep. So let's just plop a bed and let's just plop another bed. And if you see green particles over them, that means that they claimed the bed, which is basically what we want from him. Okay, let's see if they will finally switch their professions when introduced to the brilliant block of the week. Oh look, they did! So turns out all we had to do is give them a place to sleep, for them to recognize that, hey, these are livable conditions, I can walk with that. Now, the first trait of it obviously usually will be coal, and coal is something you can see I have a lot of, even though this particular survival area is actually pretty young. Now, if you see angry particles, these little sparkles come over the little table, that usually means that the villager associated with it is stuck somewhere and is being an idiot and can't get to it for one reason or another. And it is really important for the villager to be able to get to his crafting bench associated with him, because that's when they restock their traits. For example, if I exhaust a trait by using it too much, Vingus here will run out of stock, which means that he will not be able to trade me this anymore. However, in the morning, he will wake up, come over to this place, and actually restock, meaning that I will be able to sell him even more coal for ridiculous cheap prices. Things to be worried about is that if you exhaust a trade too much, it will start gaining an amount. It will start being more and more pricier for you, but that's not something we'll be focusing on today. What we will be focusing on today is the progress bar at the top. You can see the toolsmith we have is level 1, a novice, and what we want from him is for him to be a master. Leveling him up will take quite some time and will take quite some effort, as you need to trade with him. The higher level trade you're using, the faster he will level up. But right now, I want to show you why we are upgrading these guys. Because it's not just to unlock more traits, it's actually to unlock one particular trait. that this guy over here, in his fancy house, with his fancy workbenches, already has unlocked. This here is a master toolsmith, and what he sells at his highest level is a diamond pickaxe. Now, of course, this is only an efficiency 2 diamond pickaxe and only regular silk touch shovel. But let me show you something. The thing about that is that, well, okay, silk touch shovels are already pretty awesome in my personal opinion, but there's this new cool thing called Grindstone, crafted something like this if you're interested. And what it does is it allows you to unenchant an item, meaning that with few simple modifications, we get a fully new unenchanted diamond shovel, which we can then take to our enchantment setup and enchant with whatever it is we want from it. On top of that, you have to keep in mind that the enchants that the toolsmiths apply are randomized per the toolsmith. The same toolsmith will usually give you the same enchants on the same trade, however, two different toolsmiths will have two different enchants. And now that, all that is established, we could really get off of our high horse and actually build these guys a house. But honestly, that's so not necessary. That guy out there in the back only has a house because I don't want him to get eaten by the zombies. You two better level up really fastly if you want to, you know, stay put in the swamp. Now, one more thing to be really concerned and worried about is about the villagers' change in profession. The villagers have their own weird logic beyond what kind of profession they want, and that is based on what kind of profession is lacking in the village. So I am pretty sure that if these guys detect any other sort of crafting bench, other than, you know, the default one and maybe the default furnace, around the supposed village of their location, they will probably flip and they will change the trades. They will change their profession to whatever the new one is. However, at the same time, that's actually also useful if you're really smart about it, because we can level them up as a toolsmith and then swap their crafting bench to something else, and they keep the level of them. So if you have a master toolsmith and it transforms into a master, say, fisherman, it will be a master fisherman. You know, just something to think about. Now, are there easier or more useful things to do with a smithing table? Well, I mean, kinda. They make for a pretty flippin' awesome looking floorboards. Now, if only they weren't so expensive. And they have a pretty cool side texture of this tool rack. Unless, of course, your house is facing that way. In which case, the only tool you get is a mallet. And if you have an item frame, would you look at that? It frames it perfectly, no matter the side. But that's just child's play compared to the ultimate architectural use of them, which is, of course, their bottom texture. Look at it. It looks so nice next to the nether brick. And like dark oak and a lot of other textures now that I think about it. And because they're not right clickable, if you really do use them as a floorboard or as a wall or whatever, you don't run the risk of accidentally getting into their inventories when trying to put a block over the top of them. They're really actually quite convenient, if only they weren't so flippin' expensive. And that's the general use of the smithing table. No, rogue folks, I'm not selling mending yet. Now, for the interest of fairness, I need to point out that this video was made on Bedrock Edition of Minecraft, meaning that this is not Java, meaning that this is the one you use for your pocket devices, for your Xbox, and for your Windows 10 PC. If you feel like it, of course, because Windows 10 PCs can run Java too. Anyway, if there's some quirks in how the Java version works, I apologize. And if I missed any good uses, do let me know in the comments. I will happily revise this video if you guys have some great suggestions, which you usually do. For now, that's gonna be it for today. Do check out the survival series Truly Bedrock on my channel. That is the world I am recording in. And yeah, that's the world you see in the background right now. I just decided to use it instead of a creative one because it's actually, exactly in a spot where I would use something like this. With that being said, my name has been ZloXP. This has been What to Do with a Smithing Table. To be continued. Have a good one. Bye bye. What should we do with the smithing table? What should we do with the smithing table? What should we do with the smithing table? Place it next to person.